We've all seen them in cities. Buildings that looked abandoned, boarded up windows, look like they're about to fall down. In fact, in the United States, there are almost 1.4 million vacant or abandoned properties in U.S. cities. On average, these buildings cost the cities around $450 million per year. It's a lot of zeros. The bulk of this very high number comes in the form of maintenance costs and property value losses. Maintenance value costs can include anything from fire damage to lost property taxes to health concerns and a bunch of other things too. Property value loss, however, impacts homeowners directly by lowering the value of properties that are in the vicinity of abandoned and derelict buildings. Ouch. Let's take a look at the state of Virginia. Specifically, let's take a look at its capital, Richmond City. The map of abandoned buildings in Richmond looks a little something like this. There are over 1,600 abandoned buildings. So what is Richmond supposed to do with all these derelicts?
What do you do for the festival?
I'm a co-founder with Ed Trask of the RVA Street Art Festival.
And what made you want to bring this kind of festival to Richmond?
Well, I saw Shepard Fairey working in Venice back in 2009, and he was working in a square and he was creating a mural, and I kind of became fascinated by it because you got to watch the art come to life, but you also were able to interact with the artist and say, you know, why are you doing this or what are you doing? So you're watching it get created and you think he's going to go in one direction in your head, but obviously his head's different, or her head, and they go somewhere else. And so you kind of wonder why, but you get to ask questions. And so I thought that was really neat. And then a couple years later I met Ed and I sat down and I said, hey, let's do something like this. And he was like, totally. And he just, you know, he's the artist, I'm not. And he just, you know, we've taken it to this level, so we're glad it's here.
Nice to meet you, Amelia.
Nice to meet you.
What kind of art do you do?
I do a lot of black and white, grayscale murals and illustration and graphic design. A lot of nature-inspired work and botanical.
What got you into art in the first place?
I grew up within the arts. I've lived in Richmond almost 26 years, and it's a fantastic art community that has come together. So just being in Richmond and it's just a wonderful place to be. Yeah.
Awesome. And
yeah.
What are you working on for this festival?
For this festival, I'm working on a piece inspired by Virginia and our state bird, the cardinal. So I'm doing a Virginia state silhouette utilizing a tree line, and I'm working in that black and white palette as well.
Brother, 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 there's far too many of you die. You know we've got to find to bring some love in.
So I'm here with Studio 23. We are a non-profit community print shop over in Scott's Edition.
How do you feel the festival impacts Richmond as a city?
I mean, I think it's great. But I think that, you know, a lot of people get inspired. I mean, at least I do, to see like people just kind of like take over like this little piece of Richmond and like just just like take over Richmond and just kind of have like, you know, like our mark. Like this was maybe forgotten, but now it's gonna be the street art fest corner, you know, like it's never gonna be the same, so that's kind of cool. I know that this was probably already like a graffiti corner, so you know, now it has like an official Studio 23, Art 180, everybody's mark on it, which is great.
Future mobile studio. This is going to be built out on the inside into a fully functioning artist studio that I can work out of and also bring to mural sites to paint from. So I can keep all of my materials and supplies in it. I can keep my computer and everything I need to do design work inside, and also all my ladders and my scaffolding to work on site. Painting on walls still has this like sort of taboo aspect to it, which is part of what makes it really awesome. And it sort of invites people into that like behind the scenes taboo aspect of it. Like you can paint on the wall, like you can see these people doing it, like you can see how it works. It's kind of, again, that sort of behind the scenes, like how do you even get something that big? Yeah, just sort of, I don't know, public awareness of murals.
Creativity through street art and murals and stuff of that nature can really make a difference and really open a person up to, to conversations about change. So in other words, you bring a street art festival to a certain area that people have kind of forgotten about or never even really noticed, and then now they're looking at art, they're kind of open for this conversation, and they start realizing, wow, what could this space be used for? What was it used for? What are the past stories? And how could we use this to better our city? And I think that's been the big responsibility of the street art festivals in the past.
From the pain, I just wanna, I know the book, from the pain, I just wanna.
Well, I think we've succeeded in the 3 versions that we've done of opening people's ideas and expectations about art and creativity, what it can do to revitalize neighborhoods, but also, I mean, you see at these festivals so many young kids, and it inspires them to use art and to use their creative minds and sides of their brain. So it's really an inspirational thing, but it's also about revitalizing areas that need it around the city.
From the pain, I just wanna, I know the book, from the pain, I just wanna, I know the book, from the pain, I just wanna, I know the book, from the pain, I just wanna.
There are a lot of areas in Richmond that's still ahead, you know, and I do this beyond just with the street art festival. For me, I use murals and other public art all over the city to make a difference. And so I've done it all over the world. So for me, it's not going to end anytime soon. As far as the festivals, we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts.